I really want to cast this as a ritual spell. I really want to be able to do this more to procure an object out of nowhere than retrieve an object from somewhere, right? Because
Right.
if I'm dashing an object, I definitely want to spend an action on this. And it having that modality does make it a lot better. It makes it a lot more interesting as a ritual spell, right? Because this is a spell you could consider preparing for grand heists, for get a MacGuffin and hide it somewhere, right? This becomes a little bit more interesting because normally rituals you just stick in your spell book, forget they exist, and then use them as a ritual only. This gives you some reason to prepare it every once in a while, which I like. But more often than not, I think this is going to be like I always, until I need to concentrate on something, I always have my spell book in this extra dimensional space because I don't want to risk it getting burned or whatever. And it's a
Mm,
really easy place to put that, right? It's a really easy thing to be like,
sure.
this is my default concentration until I need to concentrate on something else. And when you need to concentrate on something else, it falls to your feet, you pick it up, and you're still moving and not having any issues, right?
Yeah. Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the spell Wristpocket.
Stage magic, kind
Yeah.
of. It's a dove or a rabbit or a bouquet or
Yeah.
whatever. This is a kind of neat. I'm glad they made this, and I'm glad they made this because it's got the ritual tag. Otherwise, I would say you should never put this on a character sheet. But it having the ritual tag means like, hey, that's kind of cute. So this is a second level conjuration spell from Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. It's for wizards. It's got cast of an action or ritual. Range of self, components, somatic, concentration up to an hour. You flick your wrist, causing one object in your hand to vanish. The object, which only you can be holding and can weigh no more than 5 pounds, is transported to an extra dimensional space where it remains for the duration. Until the spell ends, you can use your action to summon the object to your free hand, and you can use your action to return the object to extra dimensional space. As an object, still in the pocket plane when the spell ends, appears in your space at your feet. That's it. It's
Yeah.
cute little like ta-da, and it's gone.
Yeah, like I feel like you think this is cute, but I think that's got practical applications.
I
Uh,
think they're very minor, unless you're looking to like entertain a toddler.
that's all right. That's the cute. That's not the practical. I'm
Sure.
talking about like smuggling or even stealing. Like even for the entertainment value, why is this not a bard spell?
Because this was what like this was printed in the book that this was an expansion for Dunamancy as like a new school of magic kind of deal wizard thing. I think is the reason. I don't think they gave any of the new spells to the other classes, but I could be wrong. I agree that this definitely feels very bardic to me.
Yeah. Even I could see a subclass of rogue getting this.
Yeah, I absolutely want this on Arcane Trickster.
Yeah,
That's
our arcane
hilarious.
trickster would be the one. But
Yeah.
no, just for regular thieving things. Nobody's looking. You steal the gem or the necklace or whatever, wrist pocket. And then it's disappeared. People say, "Oh, where's my necklace? I don't have it. Come check me."
I feel like the moment someone says "come check me," they're admitting this is
All
hidden in a space you don't
right.
want to find.
All right. Better. I'm gonna check every one of you. Nobody's leaving here until I find it. Okay. There you go. Is that better?
That is better, yes.
Okay.
Than
Yeah.
the rogue very staunchly standing up and
Yeah.
going, I do not have the stolen necklace.
How
Check
can you
me.
blame me? Look in this pocket. It is not there.
That's exactly the vibe it gives.
Yeah.
Um, okay, well, let's be honest for a second. Petty theft is not like particularly useful at most D&D tables, right? Like
It could
pocketing
be
25 gold worth of material objects, I don't find to be that exciting.
I mean, the only limit on this is the size. You could,
And the weight.
steal. All right, yeah, but you could steal more valuable things. You could, and there's no limitations like having to do with magic or value or anything. There are things you could steal a crystal ball.
You could.
Maybe no, maybe
That probably weighs more than 5 pounds.
yeah,
It varies.
whatever.
A magic wand or something, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not
Um,
particularly impressed. Like you had to still get to the wand, you had to still get to the magic object, right? There's still like a journey there. It's not just
yeah,
given. And I have a hard time thinking you're gonna be like a rogue wandering through some grand mansion to be like, look at all these magic artifacts that are just available for me to grab, right? And I feel like
and
once you're holding it,
if
you've
you
got
are,
95% of the way to owning it, right? I think
yeah,
Wrist
if
Pocket
you,
might be the last 5%, but
if well, not really, because if you do get caught, then like, well, you're suspect number one, whether or not it's on you or not. You know.
There's also the really funny bit where if you are suspected of it and they don't feel like searching you, if they just start beating you up and you lose concentration, it just pops out at your feet, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think
And
like I really want to cast this as a ritual spell. I really want to be able to do this more to procure an object out of nowhere than retrieve an object from somewhere, right? Because
right.
if I'm dashing an object, I definitely want to spend an action on this. And it having that modality does make it a lot better. It makes it a lot more interesting as a ritual spell, right? Because this is a spell you could consider preparing for grand heists, for get a MacGuffin and hide it somewhere, right? This becomes a little bit more interesting because normally rituals you just stick in your spell book, forget they exist, and then use them as a ritual only. This gives you some reason to prepare it every once in a while, which I like. But more often than not, I think this is going to be like I always, until I need to concentrate on something, I always have my spell book in this extra dimensional space because I don't want to risk it getting burned or whatever. And it's a really easy place to put that, right? It's a really easy thing to be like, this is my default concentration until I need to concentrate on something else. And when you need to concentrate on something else, it falls to your feet, you pick it up, and you're still moving and not having any issues, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
It's fine. I like
Yeah.
it. It's a cute little effect. I don't again, I'm struggling to see the practical applications of it to being like that pronounced. It being a ritual spell, the floor is very, very high. Like the cost to use this is incredibly, incredibly low. You just stick this in your spellbook, and it's just a bonus effect you get as a wizard. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
a effect that I want in my ritual caster book. It's an effect that I want on a whole lot of characters that can get access to this. Again, if I'm playing Arcane Trickster, I normally like Ritual Caster on that character because it gives you a little bit more utility. And then Wristpocket's amazing, at least amazing thematically. It's a perfect fit for that archetype. It's also really cute if you want to do stage magician stuff. If you want to lead into the corny Joe Bluth, here you go. This is how you do it. And I like that. I think that's a fun element of this game is playing silly characters, silly archetypes, and doing awesome things with them. But like on a average adventuring day, this is not going to be that relevant, right?
Probably not, unless you go out of your way to find uses for it, which I think you. I don't know about every adventuring day, but some adventuring days you will be able to.
I think this is the kind of thing that you definitely like enjoy playing with. You could have a lot of fun with it in an average social encounter, right?
Yeah.
Between, taking things off people, hiding them, causing a ruckus, this will definitely facilitate a lot of that, as well as just be like a perfectly serviceable way to make sure your dagger is on you or whatever. Your magic wand isn't easily stolen or something to that effect, right? It has that little fallback that usually doesn't matter. And then it has the utility of being a cute effect on your sheet that, again, the cost is unbelievably low.
Yeah, there you go. You know you're about to get captured. You know they're going to take all your shit and wrist pocket your most powerful weapon that's less than 5 pounds, or your
Yeah.
wand. And
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. It's some kind of spell ability or spell focus. Putting your book in there is really easy because that's your spell focus, and then you have your spell book on you to prepare if you need it. You can stash it away once you're in the actual location. It's all fine and dandy.
Yeah, I'm sure there are other practical uses. That's something you guys can comment on and down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your tales of wrist pocket.
Yeah, I think this deserves us all three. Ritual spell has got a
Ooh.
very high floor. It's something that's really easy to put on a lot of character sheets, and it has a cute little bit of utility that costs you almost nothing to get. So why not?
I don't think it's worth a 3. It's even though I've been trying to talk it up, but I think that was more in preparation for you hating it. So I guess
It's really hard for me to hate ritual
yeah,
spells. I really can't undersell just how easy this is to
yeah.
cast. You don't have to spend any spell slots on it. You just need to spend one of your 12, 14, 16 spells in your spell book on it. And that's a very, very low bar to clear. And then it's just a free thing you get to do. I like free things I get to do, and there's an extra thing my wizard could do. Absolutely, I want this.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 2 though. Maybe a high 2, but all right, commenters, talk me up to a 3. Let me know what we missed. Otherwise, I guess that's wrist pocket. All right. Thank you, Sam, and thank you for joining us. Leave your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.